Hi, it's been approximately 168 hours since this video went up. I know what that means. You're due for a 1 week progress report. But before we get into that, I must admit that having public accountability partners in form of you all watching this has kept me on my toes. In fact, for the past 1 week, as soon as I wake up, one of the first things on my mind is that I have a progress report to submit on Saturday, which means so far there have been no wasted days. So thank you all for embarking on this journey with me. And a special shout out to the 7 of you that subscribed to my channel within the past 1 week. I'm so grateful for your support. When I started this locking journey, at the time of recording that video, I had absolutely no subscriber. This is a new channel. This is my first time being a YouTuber, so I'm going from scratch. So every single one of you that have been watching, liking, and subscribing, I'm very grateful. But enough yapping. Let's get down to the business of the day. This is how week 1 of my great locking went. For this progress update, I'm going to talk about my wins, failures, and lessons learned, which I'm going to take into week 2. Starting with my wins. 1, I was able to apply for at least 2 roles every single day. I know 2 sounds like a small number, and it's a small number. But first of all, I said at least. There were days I applied to like 5 to 10 places. Also, for each of these applications, I had to come up with a mini strategy, do solid research. In some cases, I even just reached out to the point of contact directly through LinkedIn DM. I said that this period there, I'm going to be bolder. So that was me being bold, okay? So I created mini strategies. I adopted a different approach for applying to these jobs. Another thing I did, which is related to my job goal, is creating 2 new samples. And this time, they were both B2B SaaS articles. Remember, I said I've been doing a lot of ghostwriting. Yeah, which means my portfolio is not as solid as I want. It doesn't reflect the quality of my writing and my growth in other areas, basically. So, working on these samples has even improved my confidence to apply for certain roles. So, yay to me for that. You guys, a round of applause for me. Then, another win this past week is related to my goal of losing 3 to 5 kg. And during the past 1 week, guess what? I was able to take at least 5,000 steps daily. Yes, calm down. I know that in the last video I said I'm a gym girly, I go to the gym consistently and all. But I had to sit down and realize that spending at least 2 hours in the gym, which I can use to do something else, to lock in proper, doesn't make sense. So I quit the gym temporarily. Okay, temporarily. My gym subscription is on hold till whenever. But I think I'm going to resume within the next 1 month or more, as the spirit leads me. So what I've been doing instead to still achieve my goal of losing 3 to 5 kg is just taking walks at home. Taking at least 5,000 steps. I stumbled on a YouTube channel. I'm going to link to it, or you can see the video here. This guy, he takes you through 5,000 steps within 32 minutes, and it has been so helpful. You also see the way that I've been able to pivot whenever I see something is not working out. Yeah, that's growth for me. Finally, another win which wasn't even planned for but happened is that I was able to post YouTube shorts daily. Like every day I posted a YouTube short, and like I said, this wasn't planned, but part of my goal of building visibility for my personal brand is growing my YouTube channel. And after doing a bit of research, posting on YouTube every day or consistently through YouTube Shorts was a suggestion I stumbled on, and I decided to try it out. In fact, I'm taking this as an experiment, and so far, the results are interesting. I've been able to get at least 1,000 views on almost all the shorts I've posted in the past 1 week. And I suspect that's where my subscribers have been coming from. But I don't know how it will affect my long form videos. So fingers crossed that it yields positive results for me, okay? But yeah, posting on YouTube wasn't planned for, but it happened, and I'm proud of myself for that. Another round of applause for me, guys. So, enough of the talk about my wins. let's now talk about my failures. The biggest failure for me in the past 1 week has been not posting on LinkedIn as I promised. And in case you don't remember, this falls under the build visibility for my personal brand goal. I didn't post on LinkedIn at all. In fact, it's not just that I didn't post on LinkedIn. I actually didn't engage on LinkedIn in the past 1 week. And I don't even know why. Okay, I think I started overthinking LinkedIn and if you're familiar with that platform, it can be quite intimidating. If you've ever felt that way, I'm here for you. Hold my hand, okay? Maybe we need to create a LinkedIn support group or something. But yeah, LinkedIn was a lot for me. But why does this sound like I'm giving an excuse? Okay, you know what? We'll talk about that in the lessons learned section. But yeah, you see LinkedIn, zero for me on that end. But I promise to do better next week, okay? I promise. Fingers crossed. I'm going to make sure that I produce content on LinkedIn next week. Another thing I slacked on in the past 1 week is my diet. I was just eating. I don't even understand what was going on with my diet this past week. But for someone that wants to lose weight, yeah, I've not been eating so well. And I'm not proud of myself for that. And I kind of know why. But if I say why, it's actually an excuse. I wanted to say that, okay, my family, if there's junk in the fridge, I'll make it my mission to eat it. But that's just an excuse. If you want it, you go for it. But now that I'm aware, I will work on it. But yeah, diet 0. Okay, I ate fruit at some point last week. So I tried. But yeah, my diet has not been so great, okay? Which brings us to the lessons learned. On lessons learned, first of all, I'm going to say this. Locking in makes you hungry. I'm not even trying to be funny, but locking in makes you hungry. I'm not joking. Because you're using up a lot of brain power and your brain has to feed on something, right? It just makes you hungry. I don't know why I didn't anticipate that. I've been working at least 10 hours daily this past week. And I've been hungry a lot, which is why I slacked on my diet. So no, this is not an excuse. I'm actually telling you a lesson learned. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stock up on healthy things, snacks, low-calorie biscuits, fruits, Greek yogurt, and all that. That's what I'm going to do. But let me just give you a heads up in case my videos so far have inspired you to lock in. You're going to be hungry a lot. So just make provisions for that. Second thing about locking in is that you need to start slow and build momentum. So locking things about willpower, right? For some reason, I thought that because I've decided to lock in, my brain and my body will just fall into alignment and just block out distractions and just go, pushing out things. No, it's not like that, okay? You need to start slow. Let me give you an example. 2 weeks ago, when I say 2 weeks ago, just take it 2 weeks before I put out my first video, I created a personal content strategy for my LinkedIn. And that week I created that personal content strategy, I posted every day on LinkedIn, which is unwise because in Nigeria we call that initial gra. You get, because you have energy, because you have the ideas, you just start overdoing. What I should have done was to post like 2 or 3 times in a week and then carry over the content. Because you can imagine, after posting 1 week back to back, the engagement was coming in and all, and I've gone silent on that platform. If only I had just started by posting twice in a week and then engaging, it should have been better. But no, I decided to do over Sabi, and look at me now. But yeah, you need to start slow and then take it up from there. For instance, with my daily step counts, last week I did 5,000 steps daily. At some point I wanted to move it to 10,000 steps daily. I had to remind myself, listen, take it slowly, okay? So what I'm going to do next week, I'll either stick to 5,000 steps and incorporate core workouts or any other thing, or I'll move it up to 7,000 steps, but not 10,000 steps, okay? Build that momentum, okay? Lesson I learned in the past 1 week is that you cannot depend on your feelings. Feelings are so fleeting. Let me give you two examples. There was a day last week I woke up late. By the time I finished doing my chores and every other thing I in my morning routine, it was almost noon and I was eager to do my 5,000 steps. I remember just lying down on my bed, pressing phone, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this whole walking thing today, or I'd rather do it at night. And I know that I already do it at night workouts. Nah, it doesn't really work for me. What did I do? I just stayed there for like 5 minutes thinking, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing this. At the point, I just remembered, who cares about your feelings? What does the plan say you should do? Do something about your weight, right? Madam, get up and walk. And I just opened the YouTube video. Thankfully, this particular trainer, he's very vibrant. So just watching him walk, watching him talk, just motivated me to stay on that video to complete the walk. And within 30 minutes or 32 minutes rather, we're done. And by the time I finished that particular session with him, I felt good, I felt better, and I was even motivated to handle my regular tasks for the day. And I'm quite sure that if I had given into the whole feeling of not wanting to walk or do any kind of workout, it would have affected my output for that day. So please do not listen to your feelings, okay? In fact, it feels like when you decide to lock in, certain forces will just keep coming up. There are days that I would open my laptop to work and the laptop will be acting like it has issues. There are days my network will be having issues. There was a particular day that I wanted to, when I was working on the samples I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was experiencing something like creative block and I just wanted to close the laptop and sleep. I was like, nah, people have written articles like this, right? Go and read those articles for inspiration. And that's what I did. I just opened those articles. I kept looking at them. Then what I started doing, I opened ChatGPT. I would take a paragraph from the article, tell ChatGPT to dissect it and come up with a framework. So by the time I used ChatGPT to understand how others were writing the articles on a particular topic, my brain started running. It's like when you put on your car, the engine, it started running, and I just started getting ideas on how to go about the articles. And look at me now, confidently telling you I completed 2 articles in a week. Do not listen to your feelings, okay? They are too fleeting. Please. And imagine someone comes to me now with a job opportunity, and I know that those samples will help me get that particular opportunity. Will I explain to the person that when I should have been writing those articles, I was feeling one kind? Who listen to that kind of explanation? Please. The only thing people care about is results. They don't care about your feelings. Okay? Life is hard, life is tough, life goes on. Just do what you have to do. Do it even when you're feeling down. Do it slowly. Like I said, build momentum. Consistency doesn't require you to go hard every day. Just keep putting a block. Keep building, keep building, keep building. And surely you will get there. Finally, the last lesson I learned this month, that time goes on. And there's a particular tweet that resurfaced this week that made me see this. I will put a screenshot of this tweet here, but it's something along the lines of, if you are 25 and you are worried about going back to school because in 5 years time you'll be 30. That's why I don't want to go back to school and all. You're going to be 30 years either way, so why not just be 30 with a degree instead of 30 without a degree? And that quote, there are days that I would be procrastinating, okay? I would just be lying down, like, let me just spend 10 minutes. And before I blink, 10 minutes is up, and 30 minutes. The way time moves fast, especially when you're being unproductive. I don't even get the logic. Whenever I'm being unproductive, time is fast. Whenever I'm being productive, time is usually slow. I don't know why that happens, but if anything, it shows why you should spend your time meaningfully, because time slows down for that reason. And this is just my experience. I don't know about you, but time just goes on, okay? Time goes on. Time just goes on and on and on. It's not waiting for you. It's not going to care that you are sick. It's not going to care that you are not in the mood. It's not going to care that you feel incompetent. Just do something. Use every time wisely, okay? Don't misuse your opportunity. There's something I keep telling myself these days whenever I feel like I have a lot on my plate to tackle. Just tell myself that when I die, I want to die empty. Let it be that my grave or when someone is handling my body. If they shake me, come, I'm empty because I have given it out. I've poured loads. That's why I'm working on different things beyond just my career, also this YouTube. I mean, thinking about job hunting. I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. It's me of last year would have seen it as what's this girl doing? Why don't you manage your time wisely? But I know the plans I have for this channel. Plans of good, a lot of evil. Because I have lots of interesting plans for this my YouTube channel. So it just make now I'm just determined to go all out, okay? I just want to go all out and give my life the best. Okay, I'm not getting any younger. But yeah, that's it. By the way, you're so locking in. Let's just in the comments, okay? And feel free to share your opinions and suggestions with me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time, bye.